Okay, so here's the 3 C's as it applies to position sizing. Again, I really feel that position size has to be earned. The only way that any trader, in my experience, and again, this is just my observation from literally training and meeting and teaching thousands of traders, whether it be live, on webinars, seminars, whatever it is. Every trader goes through a process of the 3 C's, starting off with comprehension. Yeah, I love alliteration, can't help it. Starts off with comprehension. Do they understand the strategy that's being taught to them? Because if they don't understand it, the wheels are going to fall off the wagon eventually. If they understand it, they're going to go on to the next C. Okay, so from comprehension, okay, we're going to go to confirmation. In other words, they take what they know and now they're testing to see, do they get it and does it work? That's confirmation. Do I get it? Do I understand what was taught to me? And is it working? So from comprehension to confirmation. Now, how long does it take someone to learn something? There's no set time. I don't know how long it's going to take someone to understand what I teach. Some people it takes a few times, some people it takes a lot more. So there's no set time for any of this. It's really a process, and every one of us are going to go through it a little bit different. So comprehension to confirmation. How long does it take someone to recognize that something is working? I don't know. Again, that idea of going from I get this, from comprehension to I trust this, which is really what confirmation is. If you think about it, confirmation is really trust. Okay? Now confirmation could have a lot of bearing on who's giving you the information, how much you trust them, how much you trust yourself, how much you've been beaten up by the market. I mean, there's so many factors. Okay? But comprehension and confirmation, once you get to the stage of you trust, you know what you're doing, and you've seen it work, that's what leads to confidence. The only way someone is confident in what they are doing is they understand it, they've seen it work, and now they've got confidence. Now some people get to this confidence stage too easy, and some people beat themselves up way too much. Now what does this have to do with position sizing? It's simply this. I don't care what your account size is. I really don't. Okay? For you to go from 1 lot to 2, you should be going from comprehension to confirmation to confidence. Just because you have a lot of money in your account does not mean that you should use all that horsepower. You know, we have a saying with motorcycles. When my husband was teaching me how to ride a bike, I had a sport bike. It was an old race bike, so it had some get up and go. And my husband put me on, well, he was my boyfriend then, but my husband put me on it, and he said, look, any gomer can twist a throttle. And what he was telling me is, yes, you have the horsepower, but do you have the control? And that's what trading is all about. You might have the leverage, you might have the account size, but any gomer can twist a throttle. Anybody can just go ahead and throw a whole bunch of lots into a market, but do they have the comprehension, confirmation, and confidence to handle that position if it starts going against them? And this has nothing to do with all those fancy schmancy equations and Excel spreadsheets, okay? It has everything to do with how you manage 5 lots moving against you. You know, heaven forbid they're full-size lots. You know what I'm saying? So what I believe everybody should do, especially if you're trying out something new, go micro, go mini, go whatever you need to do. Go demo. Allow yourself to fully understand what it is that me or anybody else have taught you. Confirm that you get it in the market. And the more you do that, you will naturally start to, like I said, it's a natural progression. You will naturally want to go to that second lot when that first lot has been working for you. That confidence will take you there. Don't start plugging your account into a formula, my friends. Not when you're new to this. Okay, if you're experienced, then this may not apply. But my experience has been this. Let your confidence dictate your position size. Now, eventually you'll get to the point where you can look at a trade and go, wow, that's a great risk-reward ratio. I can afford the risk of two lots or 4 lots or whatever that may be. Okay, or maybe you'll find yourself saying, hey, this is a great trade, but this economic report's coming out and the volatility could increase. Or the trade's going into the weekend and I may not want that much size going into the weekend. There's so many variables that have nothing to do with a formula. That's my experience. So, yeah, did I make sure no one's, well, that's the saying in the motorcycle world. So if there's any Gomers, yeah, certainly. Certainly didn't want to hurt their feelings. All right, does everyone understand? That's position sizing. Okay, that's position sizing for me. That's the way we look at, that's the way I look at the idea behind how much you should put into the market in terms of a particular trade. And probably at some point position sizing could be a discussion in and of itself. But I think position sizing, again, I have a very different take. Like, for example, I have 1, 2, 3 potential profit targets. I don't think 34.94 is necessarily a profit target, but it is the gap close. So I have 3 potential profit targets. You know, if I want to be able to ride all the way down to the third one, I'm going to need at least 3 lots. Okay, I really utilize that type of thinking behind my position sizing. I don't plug these things into formulas. I never have. That's not my approach. Now, for those of you that are very formulaic, that probably sounds mind-boggling and it's just not going to work for you. But guess what? You need to work within your own wiring. So if you need to plug your stuff into a formula and you feel more comfortable, I'm certainly not trying to talk you out of it. I think, though, at some point, you need to earn position sizing. You need to earn that size. Just my opinion.